Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for clicking to our video again. Today, we are going to explain about estate in Faraid. First of all, I would like to introduce my team. My name is Nur Ikmahadi bin Muhammad Noor.
My name is Muhammad Zari Shamim bin Muhammad Yusof.
And my name is Aisyah binti Abdul Muttalib.
Okay, let's get into the first thing in estate of Faraid. Okay, first property that is important is immovable property, such as building, land, and plantation. Second one is movable property, such as money, shares, vehicles, and clothes. Third one is money owed to a deceased person. In example, if a deceased person has saved his money inside of his of her residence, the money also need to be included into the faraid. The next one is the property that has been mortgaged upon by a deceased person and that is redeemable. In example, if a deceased person has mortgaged upon his or her ring, necklace, or gold, then the property also need to be included in faraid. The next one is property that purchased by a deceased person which has not been delivered to him until his death. Next is mah, or in Malay we call it as mas kawin, that has yet to be paid to a wife until the wife's death. So mas kawin need to be settled by husband to his wife because it's one of the rukun of marriage. So if the husband uh, cannot finish his payment of mas kawin to his wife before his wife's death, that the balance of the payment need to be included in faraid. Next is other assets such as savings. So if the deceased person has one savings account, the total amount in the saving account needs to be included into the faraid. Next is all the aforesaid property in and outside the residence. An example, if a deceased person has property outside the country, such as shares, house, or land outside of his residence or country, then the amount also need to be included in the faraid. Last but not least, all other assets of material value also need to be included. An example, such as furniture and antique property. So that's all for the types of estate in faraid.
Okay, now I will further explain the entitlement of Faraid. Based on the table, we can see that all of the entitlement of Faraid of each members of a family. There are some conditions that must be fulfilled by an individual in order to qualify for an entitlement in Faraid. Firstly, for the husband, there are two conditions. If the husband has no son or grandchild from the son, the husband is entitled 1/2, which is half from the faraid. Next, if the husband have son or grandchild from the son, the husband is only entitled to 1/4 or a quarter of the faraid. After that, we will move on to the wife. If the wife have no son or grandchild from the child, the wife is entitled to 1/4 or a quarter of the faraid. But if the wife have a son or grandchild from the son, the wife is only entitled to 1/8 of the will. Okay, now we will move on to the father. If the father have a son or grandchild from own son, the father is eligible to get 1/6 of the faraid. However, if the father is with a daughter or granddaughter, he is only eligible to get 1/6 of the Faraid. Now we will move on to the son. There is only one condition, which is if the son have one son and no daughter, the son is entitled to 1/2 or half of the Faraid. For the daughter, if she is the only daughter in the family and there is no son, the daughter is entitled to 1/2 or half of the Faraid. However, if there are two or more daughters but no son, the daughter is entitled to 2/3 of the Faraid. And last but not least, for the mother, if she with the son, grandchild or siblings or uncle, she is entitled to 1/3 of the will. If the mother is with the husband, she will get 1/3 of the Faraid. But if none of the above applies to the mother, she is still entitled to 1/3 of the Faraid. That is all for the entitlement of Faraid.
Okay, so let's proceed to the issues regarding estate faraid. There's basically two issues, main issues. The first one is hibah or gift. So hibah is actually allowed to be given to anybody, even outside of the family members. It is valid once there is hijab and kabul. So it must be done before the owner of the asset is still alive, before he died, basically. And it is haram, and so we cannot ask back the hibah except a relationship between a father to the son, where the father gives the gift to the son. So the criteria needed for hibah is matured and of sound mind. But if both of them is not applicable, then a trusted guardian is needed for it to happen. So the next one, we are going to proceed to nomination, which is a nominee for insurance, EPF or tabung haji. So nominee for this type of insurance is actually contrary to Faraid, and as stated in Jawatan Kuasa Fatwa Kebangsaan 1973, penama-penama KWSP, Wang Simpanan Pejabat Pos, insurans adalah sebagai orang-orang yang melaksanakan amanat atau wasi. Mereka boleh menerima wang simati dari sumber-sumber tersebut untuk dibahagikan kepada orang-orang yang berhak menurut Faraid. So as stated, so the nomination above are considered not valid upon the death of the deceased through Faraid. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to go to the conclusion. Okay, so estate planning is actually very important in our life, as it is actually a process of disposing one's asset after he or she died. So it is to ensure that our loved ones are able to get our properties as soon as possible, and it is passed on to the rightful owner. And it is to ensure we can avoid fights over assets. So without a will, beneficiaries may face difficulties in receiving the asset or distributing the asset. But for a Muslim, if they do not have a will, the asset will be distributed through Faraid. So I think that is all for today's topic. So if you guys have any questions regarding estate Faraid, don't be shy to comment down below and to say anything you want. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the video and stay tuned to our next video. Thank you.